Norihiro-san, thanks so much for being here. I've got to ask you, you see what we're seeing in terms of, I suppose, the broad state of the economy in Japan. You can find some good things, but relatively speaking, inflation is contracting. And in so much as, you can have this wages growth that's expected, is it going to be enough to see substantive inflation in Japan moving forward?
Yeah, thank you for having me. Yes, inflation is slowing down these months, but it's kind of in line with the BOJ or general view in terms of the inflation outlook. Right now, inflation is slowing, reflecting the lagged impacts from the weaker inflationary pressure from the import costs last year. But looking ahead, we have a strong wage increase during this spring negotiation, and also the yen weakness is kind of getting again and again. So inflationary pressure for the later in this year is kind of mounting at this moment.
But here's my question, right? So, you have the Rengo, you have the Kaidan Ren, you have this expectation that, wages are going to increase. But all of this is happening where the BOJ is ultra accommodative, the fiscal position is ultra stimulative, and you're still seeing 3/4 of growth being, either negative or flat in terms of the revision that we got coming through for Q4. So if we were to see any kind of further, and I don't know how to best characterize it, normalization out of the BOJ, if rates were to increase a little bit more, is there a case to be made that we could see deflationary conditions just because growth won't go back to positive? Is the wages impulse, are we that certain it's going to drive consumption and people aren't just going to, save it considering that the demographics at play in Japan?
Right. But at the same time, it was really unlucky moment for Japan during the Q1 because both the consumption and investment were damaged by the temporary production cut in the auto sector. So starting in Q2, as this impact fades, then the economy will revert to the recovery path, I believe. And as for the impacts from the Bank of Japan's policy hikes, they're still keeping the rates quite at a low level at 0.1. And it's possible that they will keep hiking very gradually. But still, the monetary policy in general is quite accommodative in Japan. So it won't have a significant impact on the Japanese economy, I believe.